Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and today is Casing Tuesday, and that's the day when we take a card out of the catalog and we give it a makeover. I'm happy to see that I've already got some people here this morning. I actually sent out my notice a little bit before my live, a little bit more before my live than I usually do, so I'm glad to see you all here. And I'm a little earlier than I've been going live in the past. This is actually my normal time. I've just been letting it slide, so I'm trying to claw back to being punctual again. Today's the day when we have a group of us that we choose a card each week and we give it a makeover. And this card is always from a printed Stampin' Up catalog. And so it's kind of fun to see what we can do with the layout. And we have a Facebook group for that where you can join in. So today's card, let's take a look at it. Here we go. Here is today's card. So it is not a Christmas card. So you can take this card and do whatever you want with it. This one I think is kind of more a summer card, and it's very sweet, but there's so many different ways we can change this up. And so I can think of some ways, and you probably can think of more. And each week we invite you to post your cards over on our Facebook group. If you want to just check it out, you can just check it out. You don't have to post a card. If you want to, you can comment on our cards. We love to get comments on our cards, so you will see my card up there as well. So to help everyone out, we do also do a little sketch for all of you, and this just helps with the measurements. And I can eyeball pretty well, but I have to admit I kind of took a look at the sketch measurements yesterday when I was designing my card, and it really helped just to kind of get some starting measurements to use for my card. And this card is in portrait mode, but when I did my card, and let me move it into the screen. Here we go. I did it in landscape mode, so you can absolutely change it around and play with the layout. You can delete layers. This is a starting point, so you can really have fun with this card. And speaking of my card, some of you might not recognize this is a new stamp set that we have. It is called Jar of Joy, and it was just released at the beginning of the month to customers. And this is a photopolymer stamp set, and it matches the Sweet Jar Builder Punch. Oh, I've got fingerprints all over that. That does not look pretty. Let's take my glasses cleaning cloth. Maybe let's make that look better. It still has a little bit of fingerprints on it, but yeah, you can see my reflection in it. But this is the Sweet Jar Builder Punch. Now, if you did not get this earlier, this is part of the Sweet Jar bundle. This is a different bundle that was released earlier this year, and it is still available. So if you already got the Sweet Jar bundle, then you already have the matching punch to the stamp set. It is wonderful when Stampin' Up brings out more stamp sets to match our punches that we already have. So don't forget to pick up Jar of Joy. And if you don't already have the punch, you can either pick up the bundle, because this one has like other seasons. It has a happy birthday, so you can really make your bundle and punch go a lot further if you get both of these and the punch. But remember, if you don't already have the punch and you're getting the Sweet Jar stamp set, buy it as a bundle, because you can save 10% with a bundled price over buying them separately. The Jar of Joy is a standalone stamp set, and it is not part of a bundle. So it's Christmas in July. We also have released some Halloween products. So make sure when you're in the store to check out what's new. there's a category for that, and it will show you all the new online exclusives that were released this month, as well as 2 new kits that were released this month. So just check it out and see what there is. I am going to be working with those new products this month. This is the first time that I am using this stamp set. And I thought today, just for fun, there's other images in this the stamp set, and I thought maybe we could pick a different image and we could work with it and make a new card kind of along the same lines as this, but changing out the colors. And I thought maybe you would like to help me do that, because I kind of have a few things kind of picked out, but I need a little help. So why don't you all join me and we will build this card. If you are going to be purchasing anything and you would like to purchase through me, I offer a free tutorial with your purchase. Your purchase just needs to be $20 or more. I just released the project sheet. This is a paid project sheet for a tutorial I did last week, and this is one of the ones that you can choose from. I think I'm getting close to 100 different tutorials that you can choose from, and this is just one of the ones if you want this particular one. So just keep that in mind, and don't forget to opt into Stampin' Rewards. I'm still chasing down some of my customers to make sure that they opt into Stampin' Rewards, because I want them to get rewarded. When you place an order of $20 or more, you get 10% back from that order that you can use on a future order, and those points last a full year. So that makes it really nice. You don't have to rush and order something the very next month. I know I did that with Kohl's. Sometimes you have something else that you want to purchase and sometimes you don't, and it's kind of sad that you lose your points then, but with Stampin' Up! You have a full year to use them, so that really makes it much more easier, and it makes it also feel like when you're earning the points that you probably will be able to use them at some point in the future. All right, I think I'm ready to switch over to my other camera. Let's knock that back. Okay, so first of all, we have to make some decisions. What do we want to use? We have 2 other options. We've got the little ornaments hanging, and we've got the little snowman. If you want to put in the comments which one of these you want me to use, the little ornaments or the snowman. So your choices are ornaments and snowmen. So while you're doing that, I'm going to just show you some of the other things I used on this card. I used the Eyelet 3D embossing folder as my background right here, and I did use the 2-tone cardstock for that, and you can see when you emboss with a 2-tone and a 3D embossing folder, the white core starts to show a little bit. If you want to expose the white core even more, you can sand it. This was just what naturally happened when I put it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So it just kind of adds a little bit of distressing to your card naturally. I don't have all the colors of cardstock in 2-tone yet, so we will be opting to do with a solid color for the background of our card today, because I think we're going to switch this to a different color. I did this gingerbread one. Oh, I've got ink under my fingernails. Lovely. So all of these here, I did it to match the gingerbread. So I'm going to do the same thing for whatever we choose. I'm going to try and bring the colors of the inside of the jar and help build the rest of the card with those colors. All right, let's have a look and see. Oh my goodness, I think we have to go with snowman. All right, let's do the snowman. Okay, let's grab a piece of basic white cardstock. And I'm going to take my, this is the jar that comes with the set, with the jar of joy. Now let me have a quick peek. Let's see. So each of these jars are a teeny tiny bit different in the two stamp sets, but somewhat a little bit similar. So, but the lids are a little bit different. So the stamps of the lids are a little different. But these are a little different. So if you want to, you know, maybe do a grouping of jars on a card, this would add a little bit of difference to each of the jars. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up with Smoky Slate. We're just going to stamp this down here. And then we're going to grab our little snowman here. And I am going to use Secret C. It is a very deep black blue. And I think it will make the snowman pop out. Right here. And I'm going to stamp him pretty close to the bottom so that the lines where the snow is on either side, we want him close to the bottom like that. And look, oh, let me get in focus. Notice part of the snowman is missing. So what do we need to do? We need to add a scarf. So here's the thing with my little scarf and my band for the top hat. Whatever color we stamp him in, I mean, it could be a pop of that color, but we're going to have to play then with the background a little bit. I know I don't have any red plaid, so I think we're probably going to end up with probably a bluish background. So I think it would be okay if we went with a pop of red. We could do blue though. So I guess now's the time when we need to kind of choose, make some choices here. Okay, so we could, I'm going to put this aside here. We could go and we could do like an alternating pop with the red. And then I think these are my two choices that I pulled from this pack. This is the Timeless Plaid Designer Series paper. I did not see any Designer Series paper that I wanted to pick up on the online exclusives yet. I do know we're going to get a lot of Christmas paper coming up in our catalog, so I'm not worried about that. But the Timeless Plaid is a great paper for all seasons, and it works really well for Christmas. So first choice we need to make, I'm going to ask you, do we do, this one is kind of, I would say, Misty Moonlight, and I would say Lost Lagoon. So which color do you think I should use for my background squares? That would be these little plaid squares here. So your choice is Misty Moonlight or Lost Lagoon, and then we'll work on the scarf next. So let me know what you think. And then I will talk about, what else do I need to talk about? Well, I'll talk about Timeless Plaid too. I'll show you. There are different colors in the Timeless Plaid. This is a partial pack because I've used this really heavily. So we've got blues, we've got kind of browns, we've got oranges, which work well for fall, and a kind of like a pinky color. Let's see if I actually have, I have another, okay, just to show you how insane I've got so many scraps of this insane paper. This is a bunch of paper I use to create arches with. So it doesn't, the colors tend to not go into the reds so much. We do have a lot of the fall, the blues, the greens, those patterns. So this is great paper. You can see I have already destroyed one pack, and these are my leftovers. Actually, I think I've destroyed more than one pack. It's been like 2 or 3 packs, and these are just leftover pieces that I've had from those packs. So I've kept those kind of in one, and I have a full pack, and then I have a pack of all the ones where I still have 6x6 sheets left. It's kind of crazy. Okay, let's have a look. We've got, okay, oh wow. Lynn says cloud cover, so I would say that she would consider this cloud cover. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 of the Lost Lagoon, and I've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait a minute. Lynn changed her mind. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Lost Lagoons, and we've got 1, 2, 3 Misties. So I think we're going to have to go with Lost Lagoon because we have 5 there. So now we need to decide what we want to do. I think it would be good maybe to have a little pop of color for the scarf. We're going to do this sky and misty moonlight. So let's build the card a little bit before we go any further and make decisions. We're going to need some squares. So we'll start off, we're going to do the same squares as before. This is 1 3/4, and we need a bunch of 1 3/4 by 2-inch squares. Let me do one more 1 3/4 pass, and then we'll do 2-inch. Okay, so now we have our little squares that we need. Okay, they are going to go in this direction. Okay. All right. And we've got this little guy. He's not quite punched out yet, but you know what? We could probably punch him out at this point. So one thing I noticed with this punch, I cut this to 2 1/4. I was doing a 2-inch strip, and it was hitting the punch right here, and my punch was sticking a little bit. And I was wondering why it was doing that. I stopped and I punched some aluminum foil through my punch. Then I decided that maybe it was because it was hitting right on this line instead of being able to punch something. And so I decided to make my next swatch a little bit wider. I went to 2 1/4 inches. So this dimension here is 2 1/4, just so that there's a little bit extra and the punch can actually punch something. So let's see if that helps with my punch situation. See, that is so much better. I was hitting it like right on the edge there, and it was not very happy with that placement for that top part of the punch, and now it's punching much better. I'll just say though, Stampin' Up! Is really good. If you get your punch and you try it out and it is not working, just make sure you do it within the first 90 days of your purchase if there's a problem, and let Stampin' Up! Know, because they will replace your punch for you. Okay, so we're just starting to build our card a little bit. So I think we need a color for our background here. And I was thinking we could either do, I think if we do this, it's going to be too light. I'm going to pop over to my desk here. Let's say, I'm just going to make a decision right now. I think if we do Pretty Peacock, these squares will pop a little bit more. I think if we do Lost Lagoon, I think everything will blend a little bit more. I'm going to show you what I mean. So if we stick these squares on here, I mean, it's going to pop it a little bit. So that's kind of like a milder version. And let's grab Pretty Peacock. We'll do 2 squares on here and 2 squares on here. I'm going to let you decide. How about that? You can decide what you want. I mean, I did a lot of contrast between here and here, and that might not be as happy making. So we could either do like the contrast and make it really dark, or we can make the contrast a little bit more subtle. And this is my sample card. So let me know if you want Lost Lagoon to sit where the early espresso is here, or if we're going to do Pretty Peacock, and you can choose which color we go with in terms of this layer, this embossed layer right here. So just let me know in the comments again what you would like. If you would like Lost Lagoon or Pretty Peacock for the background. So Pat is just asking while it was, can it be a shaker card? It could be a shaker card. What you would have to do then is you would have to cut a hole. So for this particular card, I would not make this one into a shaker card. Okay, if you made this one into a shaker card, it would be a little harder. I'm just thinking because this one has a lid that comes on top of it. But I think we could do a little fix for that. Pat, ask me that question at the very end, and I'm going to show you what I think you could do if you wanted to make this into a shaker card. Okay, but it wouldn't be for this particular layout. Okay, let's take a look at, okay, so we've got Lost Lagoon, Lost Lagoon, Lost Lagoon, Lost Lagoon. Is the card base white? We haven't decided on the card base yet. It could be, but we'll say, okay, I think we're going to do Lost Lagoon. Okay, the group has spoken. Let's move back over here. And we need a 4" by 5" piece. So let's cut in the 5" direction. No, we're going to do 4" direction first. 4 by 5. All right. I like how this collab is working. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. And I think I am going to go ahead and emboss it. So let's go grab our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I think embossing with this pattern just is always dusty because it sits on the floor. We're going to need our base platform, and we're going to need our dark gray plate. This comes with the machine, so don't worry. Base plate number 1. We don't need the thin die adapter here. We're going to take our Eyelet 3D embossing folder, and this is the 4 by 5" piece. And I'm going to line this up. I noticed I did kind of crappy job at the end there. There's a little bit of cardstock hanging out. Okay, we're going to line this up with this line right here in the embossing folder. See this little line right here? We're just going to line that up. We're going to put this in. I try to remember to put my fold of my embossing folder first. I like to put it on a bit of an angle if I can. Sometimes they're square, like they take up the whole width, and then you can't do that. But if you do this, it's always easier on the machine if it comes through the roller on a point. I'm going to grab my number 4 plate, and we're going to send this through the machine. And if I had a Lost Lagoon two-tone, which I don't have any in stock right now, this would have been really nice to do in the two-tone, so you could expose maybe sand off and see the white core. That would have been really nice. Remember last week we had the 2-tone cardstock sale? I should have picked up more at that point, but now I'm getting into it more because last week was the sale and now everyone's talking about techniques with these. All right, okay, so we're starting to build the card, and I kind of always lay things out as I go. I'm very non-committal about things, so I just kind of, as we go along, we kind of build. So as our card base, we could go with white as someone suggested, but we could also do, we can throw things on the floor. I think we could also do smoky slate as our base. We could do white. Let's grab a piece of white. We could do white. I used to try not to use as much white as card bases because when you're using white, like it looks fine, but I like to draw the eye into the lightest point of the card, and that is always the highlight there. So I mean, we could do that. We could do this. The other color I thought we could maybe use is, let's see what Pool Party looks like. Ooh, or Cloud Cover. Ooh, Cloud Cover might look nice. Let's see. We've got Smoky Slate. This one is Cloud Cover. Cloud Cover. And so many choices. I'll let you know what the choices are going to be in a second. I have to kind of narrow it down. And this is Pool Party. Pool Party is nice too. Okay, let me see what choices. Okay, that's Pool Party. That one is Cloud Cover. And that one is Smoky Slate. So we've kind of got all colors that kind of have either gray or blue in them. This one is, Pool Party is kind of a blue-green. Cloud Cover is a blue-gray. And Smoky Slate is more of a true gray. So what do you want for the card base? Are we going to do Pool Party? I'll get Pool Party up here. We're going to do Pool Party. Are we going to do Cloud Cover? Or are we going to do Smoky Slate? Those are your choices. Okay, I've got some Pool Parties. I've got a Cloud Cover. So I've got, there's just, it depends how you like to lean. Like this one is definitely a blue-green, and this one is kind of like a blue-gray. I think my eyes are kind of, when they're in neutral mode, they're kind of like Cloud Cover. They're a kind of a blue-gray color. So personally, I love Cloud Cover, but don't let that sway you. Everyone has their opinion. I think Pool Party also looks nice. Oh, we're having a debate between, okay, I think no one's choosing Smoky Slate, so I'm going to take Smoky Slate out of the picture. And now we're just kind of down to our two with the Pool Party and the Cloud Cover. Pool Party, a blue-green, and Cloud Cover. Okay, time for me to tally them up. Let's see. All right, Pool Party. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I think Pool Party's going to win. Let's see. Cloud Cover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think Pool Party's going to win. All right, Pool Party it is. And Pool Party is a very It has been around for a long time, and it is a very popular color. And the interesting thing with this particular paper is it's going to make the whole card look a little bit more blue-green versus kind of the blue-gray, which is totally fine. If you don't like my eyes, that's totally fine. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do an 8.5 by 5.5 card base. We're going to score this at the 4.25 inch mark. I'm really making you work today. Normally, I do so much in advance and I just remake my card, but today I thought, hey, let's build the card together. We're just going to fold this. All right. Okay. It's starting to come together. So let's just put all these layers down. This is kind of, you know, what I do in the process too. Once I know what I'm going to do, and since we've already made some decisions, and I've had your expert help, so I know I'm not going to go back on my decisions. Once I get to that point, I will start layering up my card, and I'm going to center this Lost Lagoon piece on my pool party piece here. And I am just horrified at my nail. I must have dipped that into the Secret Sea this morning. I was playing around. Okay, so what I'm doing for these is I'm just kind of getting them into a position that I like. Okay, so once they're in position, then I'm going to carefully lift up each one at a time. Hopefully there's no fans in your work areas to blow these little guys off course. And then I'm going to stick it down while the other pieces are still loose and get it situated. And then I'll go to the next one. And this way I can make sure that they're going to be in the right spot. That looks good. And I noticed that these pieces, I have turned them around so none of the patterns line up, which is good, because there's going to be one piece that isn't going to line up because I took it from a different stretch of the paper. So it's better that they're all a little twisted and turned around so that there isn't an odd one out. And the key is just to kind of make sure that they are straight. That one needs to go up a little bit. Because I'm gluing these onto an emboss piece, they have a little bit more wiggle room for a little bit longer. But once the glue sets up, they're going to stay in place. Okay. All right. Okay, so we've got the base of the card built. So now we just need to make some decisions. Let's do one more thing. Somewhere in my pile, I have a piece of silver foil sheet. And I like to do silver foil for the top because it makes it easy to pick what we're going to do. So I'm just going to punch a silver foil lid. You could also stamp that lid. I don't know if I can do this on here. I usually do this on my Simply Scored, but let's see if I can get this positioned on here. This could be hard. So if you just position your lid, there's kind of a bump in between the parts of the lid. And I'm just going to put that right on my groove. Stay. You know what might be easy? Oh, I've got some Post-it and labeling cover-up tape. You could also use a Post-it note. You know how we tape things down when we do dies. We can also tape them down when I want to score something. So I just want to take my scoring blade and I'm going to hold this guide down so my piece doesn't shift accidentally. And I'm just going to go back and forth over top of it. Yay, that worked out well. So you can see now there is a bit of texture to that lid and it makes it not look so one-dimensional. You could also stamp and do like colored cardstock, but I think I like doing that a lot. So now we've got our lid, so that's kind of just hanging out there. Okay, so now we need to make some choices about other colors we're going to bring in here. I was thinking of doing like a pop of red for the scarf. If you want to do tone on tone, we could also do Pretty Peacock or Lost Lagoon. But I really feel like this if we do like a blue on here, I think Pretty Peacock will be too dark and it won't really show. So I'm going to eliminate Pretty Peacock. I think if we do Lost Lagoon, it will show somewhat the little scarf, but it really won't make an impact. I think we should do like a contrasting color, like a little bit of this Poppy Parade for the scarf, just to make it pop a little bit. Otherwise, and you could totally do this. It could be totally tone on tone, and we could just totally be super, super muted. But let's give it a try with the red. You know what? We could do two of them. I'm gonna stamp this again. I'm gonna show you the difference between kind of going super neutral and let's do another one of these because it's easy. This is so fast to stamp because there really isn't anything to color. Let me find my other ink pad. I have stacked things. Ah, here it is, Secret C. And I'm going to pop back Pretty Peacock because I think it will be too dark. Okay, so we're going to come back in and we're going to do, okay. So now, when you stamp this little scarf, at first I had to really take a look at this stamp here. I'm going to ink it up so you can see it better. I had to take a really close look at the stamp because it did not make sense to me. And then I realized that the right here, this is the way it shows. This is actually the right way up. That little top band right there goes on the top hat, and then the rest of it is the scarf. So what you need to do is line up. I need to really hover my head over this, so you might want to do some practice runs with this. You want to make sure it doesn't touch the little arm, and then you can just swivel it in like that. So that is one option. That would like really make things pop a little bit more. And then I've got red ink on my fingers now. I'm doing a good job today about getting ink everywhere. I've cleaned this off on my chamois. My chamois is so dirty. I don't really want to show you. Let's see. This is what this would look like. So we're going to try it in Lost Lagoon. Let's see, get that in place. I'm just kind of swiveling it around. There we go. And there is our Lost Lagoon one. Let's give it a punch and see what we want to do, because this is also going to decide a lot of things, like maybe the greeting and what color we do the greeting in. So if we did this in Lost Lagoon, it's very, very, muted, which is still pretty, but red is going to like give it a little pop on there. So again, I'm going to let you decide, do we do the Lost Lagoon snowman or do we do the Poppy Parade? Lost Lagoon, Poppy Parade, Lost Lagoon, Poppy Parade. Let me know what you want. Okay, next up, oh, while we're doing this, I also want to show you that you can add a little bit of snow. I'm going to grab my smoky slate. And there is this stamp right here, which is basically a bunch of dots. And I'm just going to stamp this like this, okay? And we're going to, that's just going to create a little bit of snow in the background here. And then I'm going to take my dark pumpkin pie Stampin' Blends, and I'm just going to dot on a little bit of orange onto the nose. All right, so we've got our two right there. All right, red poppy parade makes the snowman pop. All right, I think we are gonna go with Poppy Parade. I probably swayed your decision with my monologue about how it's gonna make it pop, but I think also it is very true. So at this point, I think we can also glue our little lid right on top of the snowman piece. I'm just putting a tiny bit of glue right along the edge, and I'm going to just bring that onto here. And just do that. Okay. So now we have a few more decisions to make because we're getting close to the end of this card. We need, if we're going to add our little greeting on there, we need to make a decision with the greeting. I'm going to say that let's grab a piece of Poppy Parade from, not Poppy Parade, Pool Party from over here. I'm trying to think if I think Poppy Parade might be too much red at that point, but I think I'm gonna try Pool Party. Let's see how Pool Party looks, and we might need to do white too. So I'm gonna cut a 3/8 inch wide strip because that's how wide this greeting is going to be. I'm going to grab my actual greeting and let me see. We're gonna do full of cheer. So I am going to, since we did this, I think we're gonna do this in this color, Secret Sea. We'll see what that looks like, and we'll kind of go from there. I'm just gonna stamp this, sending a jar full of cheer. Now I could put this all the way across here, but I really like the original card and I couldn't find the best part to put this. So I decided full of cheer was also a greeting. And then I kind of just did it like this. So we just need to find the spot, the perfect spot for our full of cheer. And maybe on this one, bring this down a bit, maybe on this one, we will put it on this side here instead of the other side because there's a bit of a blank spot there. I think that looks okay. I don't know that, where's my original card? Here we go. See, on my original card, I did red. But I think if I put red here, it's going to totally overwhelm the red that we did on the snowman. And I think going back to this base color looks good. I think if we did white here, white would compete with the jar. And I still want people, when they look at this, I want them to look at the jar first. That is like number one. And then I want them to go around and look at the greeting. So if I did this greeting on white, I think it would wash it out. And I could introduce yet another color. I could do like another light color, like smoky slate. But I think at this point we've got enough colors going on that I don't want to introduce yet another color. So I think I'm going to go with Full of Cheer on Pool Party with Secret Sea, stamping that. And then let's look and see if, I don't know, oh, I think I'm just looking, I think we're going to do maybe a little bit of this gray baker's twine up at the top. This is the Essentials baker's twine. And I think doing just a little bit, I think I could do the red and white as well, but I think just having that on there is good. I haven't glued anything down yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and just make myself a little bow here like I did before. I'm going to move my knot to the front here. Okay. This is a really tiny bow. The reason I'm making it so small is because this is not a big thing. So I want to make sure I'm not overwhelming my little snowman here. So I could do that. I think that's cute. It kind of blends in the background. I could also do white. I do have just plain white here. Let's try a white bow. I'm just making a lot of bows here. What I do if I make a bow and I don't use it, I have a little container where I have bows that I have made that I haven't used yet. So they usually get stuck on a different project. But I'll just go ahead sometimes and make some and then just kind of decide what am I gonna do. So that's the gray, and this is just the white. Ooh, the white looks nice too. Ooh, I don't know, I think I like the white almost better than the gray. I did the gray because I thought doing white would be, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you like the white bow or the gray bow? I did also have somewhere in this mess, because now I've piled tons of cardstock on top of cardstock. Somewhere in this pile there is also some red and white baker's twine. Aha, here we go. I think it's going to be too much. I think the red and white is going to be too confusing for the card. That's my guess. Let's take a look. The reason I think it's going to be confusing is because it's not a solid color, and we've got red in the snowman, and it's pretty solid, and the snowman is so small that I think I have just tons of baker's twine everywhere now. Let's put this on here. Okay, let's slide this off. Come on off. Okay. All right, so maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Got little red and white there. We've got white and we've got gray. So white, our choices are white, gray, white bow, gray bow, or we can go with the red and white bow. It's actually not bad if you're looking at the red and white. It's not bad. It doesn't compete too much. There's enough white in it that it kind of goes into the background. I was worried it would compete, but it's actually not bad. This is just the white bow, which kind of really then you're focusing on the snowman more. This bow now fades into the background and it really is like more of an accessory to the fact. And then the gray bow, also it kind of blends in with the lid a little bit. So I think any three of the three would look good. So let me know. I've got white, gray, and then red and white. And in the meantime, I am going to glue this down. And then we'll add the bow on. Last thing. Let's see. I want enough room here so that this kind of comes off here a little bit higher. This needs to be centered. Okay. All right, then we're going to put this on here. That's cute. And now I think one more thing I can do. I just need to find what I'm looking for. That one might work. But I think they'll skew more yellow. Ooh, I have one more left. I need to buy more of these, of the iridescent faceted gems. I think that will look really nice as my handle top. I think I found my thing. And you know why? I have one left. I need to order some more of them. But that way this piece will not be just, oh no, I think I have more up top here too. My goodness. Do I have more hiding under? Oh yes, look. I have more hiding underneath here. I didn't realize that. I need to switch this around. But what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to use this iridescent faceted gem. I think. Ooh, I think that's really pretty. We're going to put that right on top. Oh, isn't that nice? I didn't even give you a choice on that one. As soon as I saw that one, it kind of reminds me of like a snowflake because it's got that one has a 6-sided pattern carved into it, and it's just super cute. So I think that one really looks nice. Okay, let's look at, okay, which bow? Oh, someone was saying a black bow. That would look good too. Yeah, I didn't do that. Sorry, I didn't see that. So I have gray, red, white, red and white. Oh no, I'm gonna have to count these. Okay, let's see. We're gonna do 1, 2. I'm counting the grays. 3, 4. I've got 4 for the grays. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the red and white. And I've got, I think I just have 1 for the white. Okay, we're going to go with red and white, baker's twine. Those other bows will have to wait for another day. So I'm just going to put, I like to glue my baker's twine bows with glue. It does work. What you need to do is just put a little dot of glue, and then you just need to stick your finger on the little knot and let that glue kind of sink into the fibers. And then, because sometimes I get some glue on my fingers at the same time. Oh, it didn't quite adhere yet. Sometimes I get some glue on my fingers and then the whole thing wants to lift off. I just use like a piercer tool to kind of do that. Look how cute that is. Oh, it's so sweet. Okay, do you want to know how I did the inside of this one? I know you do. Okay, I don't think I've done this before. So let me find my extra paper. I actually really like the card that we built a lot better than the card I built. So there you go. They're both cute, but I think you guys did an excellent job. So I really approve of this snowman. I think maybe if I had done a little bit of a lighter background on here, this wouldn't have, like, I liked that you chose the Lost Lagoon over the Pretty Peacock. I think it mutes the card down a little bit. But both cards are cute, and it just shows you can use that same pattern and just work with it all the way through. Okay, let's, somewhere in here I have some little pieces of basic white. At least I did at the beginning. Aha. All right, so I have a little piece of basic white. This one is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. Put those bows away before I lose them. And I want to add some paper to this, and what I'm going to do, sometimes we've got leftover paper somewhere, and we probably have, here we have this and this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to create little 1/4 inch strips, 1/4 inch strips of this paper. And you might have like little pieces like this left over that you're just like, I don't want to throw those out. So here's your chance to use them. And this one, I think it's going to be too short. Yeah, it's going to be too short. So we actually need, four strips of this. Like, they need to be long enough so they can go all the way across the card. I will show you what I mean in just a second. Okay, so we've got our 4 strips, and if you want to, usually there's a companion paper on the back. You can, if you want to, you can use the other side. You just need to decide which pattern you want to show. And then I'm going to do, what I'm going to do before I start gluing this down, full of cheer, this greeting comes with the stamp set, which is shifted over here. The Wishing You the Sweetest Christmas. It also fits inside the jar too, if you want to. And we're going to grab Poppy Parade, which is underneath something. Here it is. I had a lot of cardstock out today, guys, because we were trying to do different cards. I wasn't sure which one you would pick. And I'm going to do red in the center here. That might be a little shocking, but I think red will look nice again to pop the whole thing. But you could also do like a pool party, not pool party, I would do Lost Lagoon in the center as well. So just make sure you've got your greeting the way you want it, because once we glue this down, this whole thing is going to be very hard to get back up. So I just want to make sure I am centering this. Okay. And then we just need to decide, do we do this side or do we do this side? I think we're going to stick with this side here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my glue. I'm going to run a line right along the top of the white all the way off the edge, not onto my work surface. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to stick it down right along the edge of the white, and then let it run right off the edge like that. I'm going to do the same thing for this one and just run it on here. It's so much easier to run your glue on something that's big than something that is small. So you could put it on the paper, but if you put it on the paper, don't go all the way to the ends, otherwise you're going to be gluing things to the ends. And then with these ones, I'm going to start off here, come down like this, come down like that, and we'll just go right underneath. There's that score line bump. Don't go over top of that score line bump, otherwise your card is going to have a hard time closing. like that. And then we're going to do the same thing for the other side. You can probably see where I'm going with this. Oh, make sure you use the correct side and don't have one pattern that's the opposite paper, which would not look so good. If it's intentional, it's fine, but not intentional. Okay, so then all you have to do is flip this over and just take your snips and just cut off all the excess. And now you have kind of a framed up little greeting on the inside, and that makes the little thing looks cute as well. Another thing you could do for the inside is just very easily stamp another jar, and this time, you know, you're not punching it out, you're just stamping it on there. You can use the jar lid and stamp that right up there too, so that's another option. But I just thought I wanted to really keep the focus on the cuteness on the front, and then that is the inside of the card. And I did the same thing for this card too, and you can see how that looks really cute too. Here I use the reverse side of the paper, so you can absolutely do that, and that makes it super cute. All right, now someone asked me, I think it was Pat, how would you do like a shaker card with this? So the one problem I just saw right away, right off the bat when I looked at this punch, is that you're going to actually be punching out the lid at the same time, but that's not so much of a problem. So what you would do, like say this piece is the same size piece as I had for the inside, so it is a 4 3/4 by 3.5 inch piece, which probably would work well. So what you would do here is just go ahead and punch this. So you notice there is a bit of a gap there, so that's okay, because what you can do is, what I would do is I would put the window sheet behind just the jar point. And what I would do behind here is you can just take another little scrap of paper. And what I would do is I would just kind of glue this scrap behind here. And the reason it's white is just so it doesn't show through at all. Okay. And then what you're going to do is, like, say your lid, we need a different color. What color shall we use? We can just use red. We'll just do red for argument's sake. So let's just do red here. Okay. Now you could pop in your lid right here and just glue that like that. And right now your lid does have a bit of a gap to it. Let's see if we can make this better. We can take this, let's do this, bring it this way. And let's take this and see how I'm lining that up with the bottom lump, just with the bottom lump. We could add like a little extra piece right here. And it would just make the lid, maybe make it just a teeny tiny bit bigger, but it would make the lid just a little bit higher, right? So let's just do this again. Let's make it just a teeny tiny bit. Okay, I'm messing with my brain here. We just do it like a teeny tiny bit higher. Has a little bit more of a bump, and then you can just like align that right there. And it will just look like more of a, I'm gonna glue this down so I can not shift this. So I'm gonna glue this piece into the hole, okay? And then this piece, I'll just run some glue on here, because it's easier to do it on something big than something small. And then just add this onto here. Okay. That's if it bothers you if there's a bit of a gap. If it doesn't bother you that there's a gap, then you can just do it without. Like, I want to show you, if you go back to here. So this is a box that I did with just the bundle. So you can see this is actually this could be a shaker box, so to speak. But now all you have to do, like with the window sheet being in the back, you just have to then put, of course, the window sheet on the back as well, and then build it up with either dimensionals or our those foam pieces, the ones that they're foam strips. Let's see if I have some handy. They are usually in the store, but of course now they are not. They must be in my adhesive drawer. Let's check and see if they're there. Whenever you want something and it is just not handy. Okay, here we go. This is what you want. Foam adhesive strips, and then you can use that to build up the back, and then you have a spot to put your shaker pieces, and you can make that into a shaker card. So definitely you can do that. The way that I did it, I don't think it really bothers me that there's a gap, but if the gap bothers you, just punch out a little extra strip in between, and then you can cover that little gap, and then it just looks like a little higher of a lid, which doesn't look bad at all. So I hope that answers your question about how you can use that as a shaker card. So how fun is that? If you have made it this far and you're not already a subscriber to my channel, I think now would be a good time to subscribe. If you see in the corner, usually there's a little picture of me floating, a little tiny picture of me. You can click on that and that will take you to the spot where you can subscribe. Leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate all of that. All the things I used today on my original card are in the supply list down below. If you have trouble finding any of the things that you want, if you want to make the snowman version and I use some blue cardstock instead, just let me know. I'd be happy to point you in the correct direction to get all the supplies you need to make the card of your choice. I'm going to go through, I know some people posted some comments right at the beginning that I didn't get to, and then we did a whole bunch of decision making comments, so I'll skip through all of those, and I just want to make sure that I did not miss anything. So hello Beverly from Newcastle, Australia. That's so cool that you're here all the way from Down Under. Hello Marge from Connecticut, and she says it's hot and humid, and it's hot and humid here today. It was, I work in Celsius, so it was 23, 24 degrees Celsius when we went for our walk this morning, and that's pretty hot for New England. But we walked anyway. I'm such an avid walker. Okay, let's see. Hello. I'm going to guess it's NJ Cardmaker is New Jersey Cardmaker, but I'll call you NJ Cardmaker. She says, oh, she's in Florida, so she might not be New Jersey Cardmaker. That might be her initials. Good morning. I'm glad you're here. Hello, Lori from Texas, and I'm sure the heat is even hotter where you are at. Hello, Susan from Mesquite, Nevada. She says it's only going to be 106 here today, much better than yesterday's 111. Yes, that's very, very hot. Better stay indoors, right, Susan? Hello, Kim. She says Christmas in July, love it. It's fun, isn't it? Hello, Anna from steamy North Georgia. Oh, I bet you it's steamy in Georgia. I'm glad I'm glad you are with me live this morning too. Susan says she loves the set and she hasn't used it yet, but this card is so cute. I'm glad you like it. And Anna says the card is cute too. Hello, Jeanette from Seymour, Missouri. Good morning, Mary. Mary's one of my team members. Hello, Tanya from Orlando. And she's on vacation with her youngest daughter and 2 grandchildren. Oh, that's so much fun. Florida has so many things for kids to do. Hello, Pat. And she says, thank you for another small piece of artwork. I do appreciate you very much. Thank you, Pat. Jeanette says, you cannot find the Facebook group. Okay, so look down below in the description of this video. There should be a link, Jeanette. So when you see if you're on my YouTube channel, and there's a little bit of writing underneath my video, and there should say see more, show more. Click on that. It will open up a whole bit of text that has my supply list. It has a link to my store. It has a link to the Facebook group. And if you can't find that, go to cubiesquest.com and you don't have to put the join. That's if you want to join my team. But just put in cubiesquest.com and look for the contact button. And then I can send you the link to the Facebook group. But you should find it right there in the description of the video. I was a librarian in a past life. And so I do like to provide you with a lot of information in that section down below. Hello, Tammy. I'm so glad you're joining me from Facebook, because this morning it said it did not connect to Facebook. So that's awesome that I'm actually going live in Facebook. So I did not know that. Good morning, Candy. And she's listening while working. Hello, Nancy. She made it through her shoulder replacement on Monday. No stamping yet. Well, I'm sending you lots of healing thoughts. I hope you heal up soon. I know whenever you have surgery on a joint like that, it does take a while to get it healed up again. Good morning, Karen. Anna said she got both the bundle and the new stamp set too. That's great. Yes, that is it's worthwhile whenever Stampin' Up comes out with an extra stamp set to match a punch. I just always almost by default get it. All right. Hello, Teresa from California. She says it's so hot here. Oh, I'm sorry that it's hot. You must be probably in Southern California. Lynn asks, how are you enjoying the remodeled bathroom? I can tell you, I love it. I am so happy with it. Every time I walk into the bedroom, because we did do some work on the bedroom too, like building the closets, I just smile. Like, it is just such a transformation. The bathroom is so very useful. Like, all the finishes that we put in there, it is just wonderful. I love my little medicine cabinets. I love my little wall heater, and every time I turn it on, sometimes I even turn it on in the summer, because in the morning it's kind of cold in the bathroom because the AC's been on, and you know, it's just nice to get like a little shot of heat. So I know you guys are probably gonna think I'm a weirdo because of that, but every time I turn on the heater, I think of my dad, because he would have told me to put in more heat into the bathroom. We do have a heated tile floor as well, and we do have our regular heat circulating through, but not in the summer. And I have turned off the heated tile floor for the summer as well. But oh man, it is such a difference. Like, before, I used to dread taking a shower at night. Isn't that awful? Like, I'm like, oh, okay, I have to go up in that little tiny cubicle. And I think part of it was just not having any place to store things, to hang things. And my husband and I sharing that teeny tiny bathroom was just really, really difficult. And now we both have our own sinks. We have our own medicine cabinets. We have our own set of drawers. We have a linen closet in there. It is amazing. I'm so very happy with the results. And when you can walk in a room and it just brings you joy, it's great. Bedtime is now a joy. So I know that's a long discourse, but yes, I am truly very, very happy with how that turned out. Hello, Valerie. And she says, Christmas in a July with a smiley face. And Valerie's also one of my team members. And I have Ellie, also a team member here. Good. And she says, good morning from Connecticut. And Marge is here too, another team member. All right, we've got a lot of team members on here this morning. That's awesome. Okay, let's go through. Hi, Irene from Rhode Island. I'm just looking for comments in between. Hello, Stuart. For comments in between where we weren't. So Pat says for the Shaker Christmas card, her very best friend at work loves snowmen, so I always try to do a snowman card for her. Since I worked under her, she gets a special card. Oh yes, this would totally work. You saw the things I did at the end, so I'm sure it would totally work. Good morning, Deirdre from Mississippi. Okay, I'm going through all of our choices. Patty liked how I scored the lid. It does add a little something to it, doesn't it? Cindy says, good morning. And she says, just lurking while she finishes all her international birthday cards to mail today while having her second coffee. Oh, you're going to be you're sweltering in the Pacific Northwest today. Oh, I'm sorry. It's going to be hot. But you get to be in the Pacific Northwest, which is just awesome. I love the Pacific Northwest. Okay. Every time I see mountains, I smile, especially the Pacific Northwest mountains. The Rockies, they make me smile. Hello, Kristen. Let's see. Mary says she's waiting for her stamp and punch to come in. We'll look back on the box you made. Yes, I made this box sometime earlier this year. I can't remember when. But this is really cute. And you can think about this. You can also do a Christmas version of this box. You know, like you can use Christmas colors. Once we get some Christmas paper and some Christmas colored ribbon, this would be super cute as a Christmas slider box as well. I did them in a whole bunch of different colors. They're up on my shelf in the corner there. I did them in all or most of the new in colors. So, all right. Pat says, wonderful shaker. And she says, thank you very much. Yeah, I hope that helps with the figuring out the shaker part. You can totally do it. And Lynn likes the taller lid. Oh, well, that's cool. Yeah, like it just looks a little teeny tiny different. If we do the two side by side, it's just a little bit different. And it adds a little height, a little bit of interest to the card. And of course you don't have to center this. You could like slide it over to the side. I just centered it because it was, you know, that's just where my punch went, right? But this does not have to. If you move it over to the side, then you have like more room for a greeting on the side. So you can just play with the placement of that as well. Marge says, love the card. I need to get that set. I'm now making my own version of this card. Awesome. Well, thank you all for being here today. I appreciate it so much. It makes this video, this live, so much better. I can't imagine doing it without you. So you really, truly helped me with my card today. Look how cute this turned out. I love it. Just super, super cute. Look at all your great color choices. I think working together, we made a really cute card. So that was so much fun. So I will be back on Friday with a new, probably a 3D. I was thinking I was going to do Halloween. If I figure out something else to do with this jar punch, though, and in a Christmas theme, I might go and do the Christmas with the jar punch first, just because it's on my mind. And also, punches tend to go on back order some. And now that we have that new Christmas stamp set, I think it's going to push some people over the edge. And I don't know how many punches we have in stock right now. I did check. We are fully stocked right now. But I think as more people see projects with that, as we get closer to fall, when more people want to do things with the jar and the Christmas stamp set, we might see that punch go on lower inventory. So just keep that in mind. Don't wait till November to get it to make your Christmas cards. Make sure you get it early enough so that you don't have to wait for a punch when you need it, because those punches come from overseas and it just takes much longer to get them back in stock. We produce our own stamp sets, so it is much faster to turn around and get them in stock. Usually it's only about a week to get a stamp set back in stock versus punch. Like, we're still waiting for that punch assortment with the little slot punch, and that one's been out of stock for like 2 months now. So it can take a long time for punches to come back in once they go out of stock. All right, I hope to see some of you on Friday. Have a great week. Until then, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.